Yo, what's up guys, AJC here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about 2Hype fighting back against TD and Mopi, but you're going to want to watch till the end because a certain streamer talks about his relationship with the 2Hype group. But before we get into it, if you want a part 2 to this video, make sure you like this video, and if we hit 10,000 likes, I'll drop part 2 as soon as possible. Also, if you want more YouTube news like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that red button down below. But besides that, let's get straight into today's story. So as we all know, the 2Hype beef has been going on for about 2 weeks, and the final response video to this subject has finally been posted. ZachTTG posted a video yesterday titled "Why I'm Leaving 2Hype Response to Mopi and TD," and here's what Zach had to say about the whole situation.
And a cease and desist is not a lawsuit. We did not file a lawsuit against you. It's merely a warning not to disparage us or 2Hype as a collective. And the only way to have a case for defamation is if the statements made are in fact false. Don't lie about us online or in that video, which you proceeded to do anyway, but that's besides the point.
So it's kind of interesting Zach would say this, because if Mopi supposedly lied about a lot in his video, why go through all the trouble of getting lawyers, filing a cease and desist, and sending it to Mopi if you're not going to actually use it when he does lie about these things? Maybe the reason 2Hype didn't go through with filing the cease and desist is because there were some truths to Mopi's video. Zach then continues to expose the truth about Mopi calling out LSK, so here's what he had to say.
And it's funny how you attack Chris and call him manipulative for telling you to unfollow people he doesn't with anymore, when you did the same exact thing to his girlfriend and other girlfriends in the house when you asked them to unfollow your ex when y'all split up. Chris's girlfriend didn't listen to you, so you sent her a long message, immediately screenshotted it and sent it to Chris and tried to convince him that he needed to force her to unfollow your ex because it was disrespectful to you.
Okay, now at this point I'll have to agree with Zach. For Mopi to call out Christopher London for this and Mopi to do the exact same thing when it came to his ex is a bit hypocritical. Now that doesn't mean what LSK did was okay either. I think that forcing a friend to not associate with someone else just because you yourself had a fallout with them is just not really your place to say.
Proud of the man Jesse's become. He's done nothing but mature and succeed since the day I met him. He literally told you that you could live with him when our lease ended in Calabasas. It's like you expect this dude to just fuck around and play video games with you all the time like when you guys were kids, but he's grinding, and it's unfair that you take that as him not caring about you anymore. You just want to blame everyone else around you for how you're feeling instead of looking in the mirror and figuring out what you need to do.
Now this is where it went 0 to 100 real quick. Zach makes a point that Mopi may have felt Jesser is no longer his boy because Jesser, who is running multiple businesses and YouTube channels, doesn't have as much time to spend with Mopi as before, and maybe Mopi saw that as disrespectful or Jesser not caring. Now although I can see where both sides are coming from, the biggest thing that's missing from all this is just communication. This could all have been solved if both spoke to one another about these things.
I've never talked bad to an editor, and the only editor we've ever had a problem with is this dude here, who's literally a disgruntled ex-employee that used to work for Jesse, but he was constantly late with videos. That this dude inquired about working for Jesse's second channel again when he was looking for editors this past summer. That makes no sense. If we were such people, he wouldn't want to deal with us again.
Now this has probably confused a lot of people, but the person who tweeted this literally just did this for clout, or maybe was seeking revenge to get back at Jesser, who didn't hire him again as a second editor for his second channel. Zach continues to talk about proof that he actually did care about Mopi and had his back throughout all of this.
And after the meeting, I texted him, told him I loved him no matter what, and he said he loved me too and that he hadn't forgotten how much I had done for him. When you have a friend sitting there telling you that they're down so bad that they're hurting themselves, like, that shit made me sick to my stomach, bro. And we were all pretty emotional about the whole situation, and we were talking. Jesse made a group chat so that we could try to figure out how to help him and make a plan to get him healthy again. The next couple days, I would wake up and go straight to his room and check on him, make sure he was getting out of bed, taking his medicine. We went on a couple drives, put the top down. We went and got breakfast one of the days. Like, I was just doing anything to try to like get him outside and like talk to him and be there for him and just prove that like I was really there.
So this is where I really see where 2Hype is coming from. Firstly, the text that Zach showed of him and Mopi talking do prove that there was a time that Mopi enjoyed and was accepting the help that Zach was giving him. But like what Zach said in the last clip, none of them are trained professionals when dealing with people with depression, and let alone if one of them is your best friend. It's not fair to say that, oh, they were his boys and it's their job to fix Mopi, because at the end of the day, the only person that could fix Mopi is himself. And 2Hype has shown proof that they did try to help as much as they could, and yes, it may not have been enough, but they aren't trained professionals in these situations. Now what they did to TD and Los, I feel that's a different story and they did do them wrong, but with Mopi, I really do think 2Hype tried in this situation. Well, certain members that is. But speaking of Los and TD, here's what Zach had to say about that topic.
The last thing I want to talk about in this video is the leaked Discord call. Supposedly an old friend of Jesse's leaked it, but it was TD who recorded it and leaked it. Now TD was at his house, but we were all in the same room at the 2Hype house on one phone in a private Discord. Why the fuck would some random friend of Jesse's be in a call where we're telling a member of the group that we don't want him in the group anymore? And in the clip, you can see him looking at his monitor when he's talking about it because he has the full call right there. And then he acts surprised when it got leaked on Twitter, like, come on, bro, you're not fooling anyone with that shit. And everyone took turns talking on this call, but it was only Chris and I's part that got leaked because we're supposed to be the villains here.
Now this looks really bad on TD because it doesn't make sense how this call got leaked in the first place if it was only 2Hype people in the discussion, and maybe the reason why the whole phone call wasn't recorded and leaked is because TD pressed record halfway when he realized he was getting kicked out. Now, what 2Hype did was still wrong, but it doesn't make sense that TD leaked it instead of what he said where some random friend leaked it or something like that. But Zach continues to talk about his ex-best friend Los, and this is what he had to say.
He blacks out a huge chunk of that first text, leading people to believe that I said something super fucked up, but it was literally just a joke. Here's the full text so that you guys can see exactly what we were talking about. Los, I'm sorry, bro. I fucked up and then tried to blame you when it wasn't your fault. We had a good ass friendship and a lot of genuine times together. Like, I'd be traveling for work and I would go to Jersey in between jobs to kick it with him on some like real shit. Like a lot of times we wouldn't even stream. We would just go hoop or like chill in the attic. I met his family, who I also owe an apology to, Jake and his dad, for doing that to their brother and son. I'm sorry to y'all too. I still got love for you, bro. You're one of the most entertaining streamers on any platform. And I'm sorry for the betrayal, man, and I wish you nothing but the best.
So even though TD hid that photo in the text he showed in his exposed video, Zach was still making fun of Los behind his back, and what he did was still wrong. But also, from what was said, it's really sad to hear that Zach and Los had a fallout because they really did seem like best friends, and you could tell that's the reason why Los is very hurt from this whole situation. But Los eventually took to stream and said this when he heard the apology from Zach TTG.
Bro, guys, can you not see how confusing this is? This is literally why I've said, like, bro, I don't believe that they say. I don't believe the tall guy. I don't believe him. I don't believe what they say, bro. I don't want to have this feeling. I don't want to have bad blood. I don't want to have this bad feeling. You ever get into a fight with someone, you're yelling at each other, or even a physical fight or something like that? You just feel like bad, you know? It's just like you just feel bad. And you're getting exposed. There's texts coming out. People are hating on you guys,
So I think at the end of all this, it's hard for Los to accept his apology. One, he doesn't want to take any more hate and he doesn't have any hatred towards anyone, but to accept the apology from someone that's done you wrong like this, I think it's just pretty hard for him, so I do understand where Los is coming from and him not accepting Zach TTG's apology. But since this is probably my last video on the whole 2Hype drama because everyone has said their piece, now if you want to know if I'm on Mopi or 2Hype's side, I'm not on anyone's side. I think both parties had their faults, they both made their mistakes, and that's what happens. Whether it's fallouts with friends or whether it's relationships, sometimes both parties just had their faults, they both had problems, and it just caused to get worse and worse. So I think the best thing to do is for them to part ways, which is what happened with Mopi and 2Hype. And I do hope that Mopi and 2Hype continue to succeed in life, continue to do big things on YouTube, and got big things coming their way. But thanks so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and I'll see you soon.